Good evening. Welcome to Niagara Falls, New York. We are hanging out in the hotel. Where are we staying? What's the name of the hotel?
Giacomo.
The Giacomo. We're staying at the Giacomo.
Giacomo.
We are on the top level. We're on the 18th floor of the Skyview Lounge here at the Giacomo. Fish Hawk crew here. It's day 3 at the Niagara show. The show wrapped up a couple hours ago, and we're just kind of hanging out, relaxing, getting ready for a big day 4 tomorrow. So we'll be at the show tomorrow. We're going to do a show, I think, at 10 in the morning, and then again at noon.
Oh, yeah.
Is it 9? Well, the doors open
No,
at 9.
the door's open at 9, yeah.
I'm doing my show at 10, and then we'll do it again at noon. And then we're going to be packing up and hitting the road. We got a 5:30 flight out of Buffalo tomorrow night, so we'll be heading out. But one of the things we wanted to do tonight was just talk about kind of what we've got going on at Fish Hawk Electronics. We unveiled the new product on Thursday night, and that's great. But I think what really makes a company anywhere is the people. And one of the things that we've done is invested in people. And I've had a few experiences in the last week that really kind of remind me of why we're doing what we're doing, and that I was looking for customer service on a couple of products that we've bought, and like, you can't talk to a human being. You're talking to AI, and then you finally ask the AI to talk to a human, and I'm pretty sure they just sent me to a higher level AI. Like, that's what it felt like. And that's what these guys, and we wanted to introduce these guys to you because I'm sure at some point Steve was forward facing, and like we saw pictures of Steve in places, but It's probably been a long time. So this is Steve Stelter on the far side wearing the vest. Steve,
How
say
you
hello.
doing, guys?
Yeah. And then we got our new guy, Mario Pierzachelli here. Mario, hello.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. So we wanted to introduce these guys to you because these are guys that if you're having problems in the field, setting things up, or maybe there's just an issue that you need to get dealt with, these are the guys that are going to answer the phone. And that's, I think, the thing that, again, is going to separate us as a company is that whether you're looking to buy something or you're looking to get something fixed or maybe you need an accessory, if you call our phone number, you're going to talk to a human, which is really cool. And we have chat on our website as well, so if you want to chat, and when you go to that chat, who are they going to be chatting with, Steve? They're going to be chatting with Steve, so it's not an AI bot. And I think that's super important, and I think it's something that it's becoming easier and easier for companies to use these AI things because they are so good and they're way better than they were 5 years ago. It's become super easy to do that. But I think what's going to differentiate a lot of companies is to say no to that and say, we're going to bring real human beings into it. Trevor, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, we talked about it the other day at breakfast. We're like, when had Steve and Mario come up to the show, it's like, well, I want people to meet our chatbots, like, because these are like this is our version of a chatbot. So like Steve's been with the company for 6 years, 7 years, more.
7, 8.
7, 8, yeah. I mean,
Seven.
long
time.
enough that
Right.
neither one of us remember, right? So,
Right.
so, and that's kind of like the theme with our company is like, you know, until we hired Mario, I don't know. Maybe you're probably the most recent hire in that, and I think that was
6 years.
That was 6 years, So we've got a lot of like super experienced people in there, and I just think it's something that like we don't ever really talk about that. I mean, but I think it's like one of our greatest strengths is having people that have so much experience with the product. And even though Mario is the FNG,
Do you know what that means?
yeah, I think we do. It's after hours, but I'm keeping it like PG-13, So even though Mario is the new guy, I mean, he's been in a customer service role in a marine electronics business for a long, long time. So it's, the product might be new to him, and maybe the fishing style and those things are new to him, but he's not new to marine electronics. Everybody in here is, we're avid users of the product, and maybe we don't get to like like fish on the Great Lakes, you know, just based on where we live, right? We're not on the lake, you know, so we have to travel to get there and whatever. But we've all done it, and we're all, you know, we're all doing some kind of fishing or hunting or whatever. So we understand what it's like to like be out on the water and
What's
like,
the old saying? Don't work in the industry that you love, because you're never gonna get
because
to
you want to
do
do
it.
it. Yeah, that's kind of there's a little bit of truth to that. So we try to bring some balance there. But yeah, that's just how we've done it, and it's really kind of how we've done it since day one. And it started with me, right, where like I was doing this because like that I was the only person, right? So you know I didn't really have anybody to do it. But that's like been something that we've continued with over time is like as we do add people, you know, we're adding people that really like actually know what they're talking about. They understand the products, they use the products, and I think that that's very rare. And I also think that like for me, just as the business has grown, like that's the hardest thing to do because there's some of those things you just can't train. Where you know we've got like tens of thousands of pieces of equipment out in the field. So it's like, I can't do it by myself anymore. You know, I mean, where we need a team of people to be able to do it. We need to, you know, one person can't do it all. So how do we do that and have that like same level of service when I was the only one doing it? And I think, you know, we've done a pretty good job of that, and we just continue to invest in that. I mean, certainly like technology and everything, you know, in some ways makes it easier. There's more tools, things like that. But at the end of the day, it still takes somebody behind the keyboard or on the other end of the phone to actually.
Right, and we care, because we use the product, we use
Yeah.
other companies' products, we want, you know.
Yeah, we understand what it's like you're out on a fishing trip and
Right.
like this is the
It's
weekend.
not working.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's like.
I will help you,
Yeah,
hopefully.
right, exactly, yeah, so, and, you know, and again, like, you know, Mario was working in a different segment of the electronics business, more on the wintertime stuff, the ice fishing stuff, but it's the same thing, I mean, you know, dealing with, and electronics in particular, I mean, there's a whole, you know, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with electronics, especially in the environment that we put it in, and, yeah, so that was a super long answer to a super short question, Chris. So,
That was all right, that was good.
Can I
we
see
got-
your phone just so I can see the
Yeah,
shot?
I gotta. So you can always see shot.
We got some
I got a
comments
few.
coming
I got
in,
a few
too.
comments I gotta answer in there too. Yeah.
You know, what's nice being here and working in the booth, people are coming up and they know who I am because they have talked to me.
Yeah.
They have talked to me from out on the water, you know, and they're like, they've emailed me and they know my name. But they've never met me, so now we're putting faces together.
Yeah.
And it's great, because everybody enjoys what we're doing.
Right. Well, I think the other thing too, and this is like from my perspective, is like so many times you guys only hear. I think it's really good for you guys to get out and come to the shows and hear like all the positive comments and hey, thanks for doing this and whatever. Because a lot of times when you're talking to somebody on the phone, it's the only time somebody's talking to you is if they've got a problem. Right. Where now I think it's really nice for you guys to be able to come out onto the road and, you know, talk to people that, you know, I mean, I can't even count the number of times that somebody's walked up to the booth and said, hey, you know, thanks guys for taking, you know, so I think it's really nice I think it's nice for you guys to get exposure to that too, because, you know, yeah, I think that's a helpful thing, so.
We do the best we absolutely can to resolve the situation as fast as we can.
Right.
And make it the best experience that you can have.
Right.
We're trying.
Got a couple questions in here. Tim Potter was asking, looks like said he has a couple issues with his X4, maybe getting some water in there, ordered some O-rings, battery pack, hoping that'll fix it. What do you think? Yeah, I think that's the best. I think you're on the right track there, Tim, with an X4. If there's going to be like an intermittent problem with it like that, you're really most likely going to be in the power supply, and yeah, that would be the place to start, is replacing that battery pack. there's good instructions there on the website, Tim. There's a video that shows you how to do that.
Make sure you put that battery pack in the right direction.
Put the battery pack in there.
And don't have batteries in it when you put it in.
And don't have batteries in it when you put the battery pack in, just so you don't
Right.
run the risk of reversing polarity, something like that. So yeah, I think you're on the right track there, Tim. Jim, 1775. Can't wait to get my fish hook ordered Ultra on Friday. Looking forward to getting more fish in the boat. So I do have dual side imaging transducers on the boat. Where should I mount it? That's actually a pretty easy one. I would probably put it right next to your side imaging transducer on that, Jim, because we run at 70 kilohertz, where your side imaging is much higher than that. So yeah, you'll be just dandy probably putting it right there next to your other ones, especially if that side imaging transducer is opposite from your kicker motor. Yeah, that would be the best place. There's also, Jim, when you receive that, there's a diagram specifically that shows you exactly on the transom where we recommend doing it. So those are all.
Read the directions.
Well,
We worked hard at putting those directions together.
but like we always say, real men don't read directions.
Right.
So we get it. That's the way it goes. So
That's what we have to tell people. Read the directions.
Read the directions,
We've
yeah.
talked to a couple people this weekend, and it's just like, if you would have just read the directions, you wouldn't have this problem.
yeah.
So it's,
we're here for you, but there's a lot of things. So here's one thing. I said, okay, we don't use AI or whatever, right? That's not true. We have a knowledge base on there. So like when you go to
We created that knowledge base ourselves.
But we created the knowledge base ourselves, and it's just like a quick reference thing. So it's like the things that are in there are the most commonly asked things that we see all the time, right? They get asked all the time, and so they're just in there as quick references. So I mean, we're gonna, if you need more explanation, great, we're happy to do that. But I would say that, well, I don't know, how many, like, if you have 10 questions, how many are the same question?
5.
Yeah, so a lot of them, at least 50% of the questions are ones that we answer
Ones that
over
we
and over.
can handle quickly with our.
Yeah. So it's there. So that's a good first step, and that's a 24/7 thing, right?
Yep.
But then beyond that, then whatever. I think it's kind of funny. Steve's voice is gone. My voice is gone. Chris's voice is gone. Mara, you've been awful quiet over here, but
Trying to lube up my vocal cords with some water here.
yeah,
People-
maybe we should have done something stronger.
Well,
It is after
you're
hours.
the boss. Where is it?
I don't know. I mean, we couldn't do it in the lounge, so we had to do it up here. So.
I don't think people understand that have never done trade shows or done podcasting, like how much mental strength it takes. And at the end of the day, like I live streamed today for 4 hours, and we're on hour 5 right now. Like how much mental capacity it takes, and when you go home or go back to the hotel room, you're just like, you're done. And we're talking physical, like our voices are kind of shot right now, and like you guys have been fielding questions from customers all day too, so it's been a lot of mental capacity there too. And I think, like, I worked in construction when I was young, and you're using your body all day and working hard, and you're thinking, well, yeah, a guy that sits there and just talks all day, that'd be really easy. And it definitely is easier than swinging a hammer, but there is a lot of mental fatigue that happens throughout the day, and like, we get to the end of these days when we've been doing this all day, and your voice is shot and your brain is fried, and here we are doing it some more. But Mario, one of the things I wanted to ask you is, I've studied a lot of things in the hospitality industry, and Disney, back when it was really in its prime, when they were hiring housekeepers for their hotels, they would look for housekeepers that.
Where are we going with
Yeah,
this?
where are we going
I can't wait to see where this one goes.
They would look for housekeepers that would come to the interview and they would say, well, how clean is your house? And they were looking for people who were very passionate about cleaning things. And that's what they wanted, because if you have someone who's a housekeeper in your hotel, that doesn't care about how clean things are, is probably not going to be a very good housekeeper. So for someone to do what you do, where you're helping to diagnose problems, helping to get people that maybe probably are not happy because they spent a lot of money on something, it's not working the way they wanted it to. What does it mean to you to help someone kind of get that solution and get their product working the way they want it to?
I think it's awesome. The more questions you ask, the better it is. It does nobody any good if you absolutely just complain about a product, but you don't ask for help. All the information is out there where if you want some help, just give us a call. We want you to be happy with the system. We want to work out the problems. Like we talked about earlier, we're all fishermen, so we've all experienced problems on the water, off the water. We're here for you. We're here for the help. I haven't been with the company that long, but I can tell you in the last couple days, I'm super excited about it. I can't even explain how many times I heard great things about, man, I can't believe the way you guys helped us. Well, that was Steve right here. It's not a bot, it's somebody, you can actually talk to us. It makes us feel good. I mean, we understand if you guys are frustrated, if you want to talk, if you want to vent, I'm going to listen. You're going to call, if you want to yell at me, I understand. We all have the bad days when something's not working, you're upset. But when we can resolve that problem for you and put more fish in your basket, I mean, that's the greatest thing ever. That's what we're here for. We want you to use our product. We want you to be successful. We want to be successful doing our job. It's the reason I'm here. I would like to think that Trevor brought me on board to help you guys because hopefully I am knowledgeable with customers and stuff. So I don't know, makes me feel good. I like it. I don't know any other, I mean.
Like I said, Mario is new to our company, but he's been around this space, the fishing space, for a long time, and
Yeah.
and yeah, I know like where he like, yeah, I think like you're gonna like breeze through this from the standpoint that the volumes that you're used to dealing with compared to like the volumes that we deal with is, I mean, that's a good thing.
This will
But
be a big difference.
but
yeah.
just, but that's how we can kind of, by, we just put resources toward that. I mean, that's like outside of the work that Chris does with the podcast, like nobody knows this, but we don't advertise. I mean, we don't do any advertising. So our kind of whole thing that we've built this, the way we've structured the podcast and the way we do our content and the way we do all that is like, it's like, well, if we can provide value to people, by either helping with our product or just helping promote the fishery or helping catching more fish, all of those kind of things, we just feel like that's a good thing for everyone and that's going to be a good thing for our business. And that has proven, we've certainly made like tons of mistakes over the last 15 years, but that's one that's worked since day one. And
You learn from your mistakes.
yeah, right. But just going back to where Mario's been is like, yeah, it's new, he's new to the product, but he's not new to the process. And so when we find somebody, and it's funny, and I'm not gonna get all like woo woo on us here, but I do think it's funny that like timing is a weird thing or funny thing, right? Where it's like, Mario started his own business and he needed Juan is looking for something to help him out over the summer months when his other business is slow, and it's like, that's like the perfect scenario for both of us, where he can work on his own. He's got a skull cleaning business, by the way, so if anybody needs beetle work done on big animal skulls, Mario is your man.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified what kind of skulls we were talking about.
Okay, yeah. Like taxidermy skulls, right? Yeah. Which happens to work out pretty good for me because I like Euro mount, so it's like now I got a hook up of my own guy here. So that's how Mario came to be, and again, it's like a rambling answer, but.
Do we have any comments?
Yeah,
on that?
we're getting quite a few here.
All right.
I got to
Hit us with some comments.
let's see. Mostly attaboys here, actually. So we got I think impulsive sport fishing's been with us for a whole
Pretty
bunch
much all weekend,
Pretty much
yeah.
all weekend here. I said we got him a heck of a deal on a new system. He had an old X4, and we helped him out, piece something together for him, and just thanked us for doing that. So yeah, you're
Yeah, hey, thank you.
most welcome, and thanks for spending so much time with us this weekend on the
Yeah,
pod. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit. You know, we did do the product thing on Thursday where we brought out that product, but let's talk a little bit about, you know, how those things came to be, because we can talk about features and everything else, but it's like, I think the why is very important too, and why that those new products are coming and what they're all about. And I think we can start with one. I think, you know, we brought that. We've got a lot of cool stuff happening there. Why is that? Why is the Fishhawk One so important to you?
For a lot of reasons. I mean, like the last couple of years, like one of our biggest challenges has just been building enough stuff, right? There's a bunch of things going on in the world that we don't control, like tariffs and like, you know, blah blah blah. I mean, whatever. Those aren't things that we control. So as we've been looking at a way of like, okay, how do we deal with those things? How are we gonna handle that going forward? So one is a result of that from the standpoint that we wanted to build a system that was very modular, so that as we come up with new features that we can integrate, that we can unlock those features by simply pushing out an over-the-air update. So that's completely new for us in the past, where before, anytime we would have a new feature, we would have to, you know, basically create a new model and, you know, start from scratch. So it's just a different architecture, it's a different platform, and we're still able to do that, where we're able to maintain backwards compatibility with a lot of the product that's in the field already. You know, I mean, I don't want to sound like bragging or whatever, but like nobody else cares about when I say no, well, yeah, nobody else cares about backwards compatibility. I mean, like, you know, like we don't want you to have to remount a transducer or whatever. If you have things that work, there's really no reason to replace them. So we really have worked hard to, you know, make backwards compatibility a thing, and that's just a fancy word for meaning that the new stuff works with the old stuff, and you don't have to do anything
Right.
special in there. So one maintains that, so we still have backwards compatibility, but we also have future-proofed the product, because now, you know, when we've already got a number of things, you know, that are set to roll out, where, you know, it's just, I mean, as much as I would like to just be able to like throw everything out there at one time, it's just not feasible for a number of reasons. I mean, some of it's money, right? And, you know, other parts of it is time, you know, either certain things aren't, whatever, but by doing it this way, it gives us that flexibility where now, as we get those new capabilities ready, we can, you know, push that out to the public when they're ready to go. So over the last couple of years, you know, we've had to make a lot of changes, and we're doing things, you know, moving things around here and there, and those aren't like super fun for us, and I think it's pretty confusing for the customer also. So that was one of the things we wanted to do, is we want to make this thing backwards compatible, make it future proof, and also just simplify the whole process. So now it's you know, you don't have to figure out, well, which one do I want? Well, it doesn't really matter what you're doing. This is going to be a system that's going to fit what you want it to do. So. And it also makes it easy for these guys, right? Because we're looking, again, part of the future proofing process is like, how do we support that product in the future, right? So if you don't know what you have, and that's a common thing. I mean, how many times do people? Yeah,
Exactly.
You get on the phone where it's like you know,
Can you look inside that probe and tell me what you actually have?
right? You know, so we don't half the time we don't really even know what somebody has, right? So that just, you know, it'll take time for that, but that just makes it easier to support in the future as well. So, you know, really trying to look, you know, many years down the road and see how we can, you know, take care of that product. So, and you know, Fishhawk, I mean, we bought the company in 2009. You know, it was around for 40 years prior to that. So it's like, how do we build this thing so we can run it for another 50 years, or, you know, whatever, you know, so those are the things that we think about as we're putting those together. So
Yeah. One of the other things that was exciting this weekend for me was talking to the consumers and seeing the excitement for the new TD product. And that's something that, you know, again, that product was pretty much the same for a long, long time. And I think the people that liked it and wanted it had it. And there's certainly, we were selling plenty of them, but it was a product that I kind of thought, like, and you thought as well, it had kind of run its course. And that was probably the product in our booth today that I heard a lot about. People were coming to the booth and they wanted to know about the TD Connect. Tell us a little bit about that and kind of how that became a thing.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, we introduced the original TD in 2010. So, I mean, it's been on the market for a long time, and it did a good job at, I mean, it really accomplished its mission. It was, a really durable product. It really, fumble. Durable product, worked well. And you and I would talk about it quite a bit, but like, we just never, we were so focused on systems that we just didn't, like, we didn't promote it that much, we didn't really talk about it that much, whatever, but it just kind of plugged along. It just, it was good, steady business, and but then now the last few years, it really started to like pick up steam. Like all of a sudden, like people in different parts of the country are using it. It was on Deadliest Catch.
Right.
Yeah, like that was
Putting them on the crab
yeah,
pots.
they were putting them on the crab pots where all of a sudden, just renewed interest, and then like a whole nother group of people sees it where it's like, oh, it didn't. So, anyways, it just started to pick up steam, and then, but it just always kind of was in the back of my mind. It's like, well, what else can we do with this? Like, I mean, where can we go with it? And there's certain products. There's certain things I think that your phone is really good at, and there's certain things I think that your phone isn't really good at. And the way we set this thing up is it really harnesses, because this isn't something you have to look at all the time. You drop it in the water, you take it out of the water, you look at it, and you're done with it. You set it down, and you go on about your day, fishing, whatever. So in that instance, like, you're not going to get a better display than your phone. I mean, the capabilities that we carry around in our pocket every day are amazing, right? And TD Connect just harnesses that. We're now using the app. We just have so many options, and I don't want to like go too far out in front of it but we've got so many things coming as a part of that, I mean, that's where I think it's going to be really excited, where I think we're going to be able to add a lot of value for people down the road, where, because we're logging all this information, because we're gathering this data, like, I think we're going to be able to add, significant value to people's whole fishing experience, and really just how they make their decisions about where they're going to fish, and how they use that information, whatever. But yeah, I mean, we're super stoked for it. Our biggest dealer customer, told us today that it's in their top five most requested item. They don't even have the listing out yet. I mean, it's not even there, and
Right.
they're getting tons of requests from it from all over the country. So we're super excited about it. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's late enough in the day that I'm just like rambling here. So
You're doing well,
yeah.
I think the theme, though, of these two products that we're bringing and introducing, though, is that we were a fishing company that harnessed technology. I think we're becoming a technology company that's focused on fishing.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're moving forward with. And, today we're maybe in the infant stages of that, but that's what's going to grow this company. That's what's going to grow
And
what
it's
we
exciting. That really is exciting.
Yeah, and I think, and that was the other reason I wanted to get like Steve and Mario out here, was to just kind of see, and actually, well, it actually couldn't have worked out any better, because I didn't expect there to be this much excitement around it. So combination of a opportunity for us all to learn, find out what kind of questions people are going to have, just talk to people, and it's so amazing, Mario can learn more in 48 hours at a show than we could teach him in a month in the office. I
Right,
mean, it's like,
right.
we can give him pamphlets and whatever, but just listening to Steve and I or you talk to people about the product and just seeing what the questions are or whatever. Again, he's old hand at this stuff. He might not know the product inside and out like we do. yet, but he's pretty darn close after 48 hours. And once I think I'm putting you in charge of taking him fishing this spring, because nobody asked me to go. Nobody asked me to go fishing because I always bring shitty weather and cold and wind and whatever. So they don't invite me anymore. But everybody wants to have Chris on their boat, and so I think once Mario goes fishing with Chris and somebody, then he'll it clicks pretty fast. But
So Steve, you've been doing this for a while, but it's been a long time since you've gone to a show. I don't know if you've been to a fish hawk show probably since I've worked here.
Right? Yeah.
So what did you see today that you didn't see 7 or 8 years ago when you went, or this weekend when you went the last time you were out shows?
For this show, the launch of the 2 new products was exciting for everyone, us included, obviously. And to see the reactions and people talk about this, and that was fantastic. When I was doing the shows before you, it was the same old, same old, same old. But now it's
yeah, that product wouldn't change very often.
right. There wasn't a lot of change in the products back then. It was a great product and people loved it. And now the excitement for the new product is just almost mind blowing.
So Mario, this is the first time you've kind of been representing the company. You've been with us now, I think, for a couple months, and we've kind of just let you kind of ease your way into it, and we threw you into the fire this weekend. What's your reaction to everything you've seen and heard this weekend, and what are some things that you've seen and heard? What are some of your experiences this week? What have they been like?
I've heard lots of stuff about how people like our product, and a lot of our old products still works. So that's important to me. Just being in the industry for a long time, everybody's had products, they kind of go through new stuff. You got to buy something new, kind of like we used to have to do. Stuff wouldn't work. But it seems like there's people out there using some of the original probes, and
Yeah, we've had. This product's
Like,
been in the field for like 25
there
years.
was
yeah.
people talking to me about it today.
People talking about the 840s, and they still are
They're
using
still
them.
using it. Yeah.
Or they'd come up and just tell you about their product, and they'd be like, well, I'd like to know the new stuff. What do you got going on here new? And then you say, oh, are you new to Fish Hawk? Is this your first time? Are you getting something new? And they tell you that, oh, no, I've been using it forever. I'm just looking for what's new. And
I think something that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let you finish.
oh, no, that was good. It's just nice to hear that people have been continuously using the product and wanting to keep branding. I know there's a lot of people that jump different companies and stuff, but it just seems.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here because it seems like everybody seriously they really like the product. So.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because Chris and I were here, I think it was maybe 3 years ago, and we were watching the salmon school. So they do. So for those of you, anybody watching that's not at the show, so one of the big draws of this show is there's a salmon school where guys, pay good money to come in and watch a super in-depth comprehensive seminar for basically a day and a half, where they go really deep in the weeds, and it's a really kind of a advanced tutorial on all things salmon fishing. But so you'll get I think it's 180 seats is what that event is limited to, and Chris and I were there, and presenter that year asked the question. They're like, well, how many people, and raise your hand if you own a fish hawk, and like 75% of the room raised their hand, and he turns to us and he says, well, that's got to make you feel good. And I said, actually, it scares the hell out of me. Because it's like, uh-oh. So that was like a good, wife's calling. That was like a good, it's like, whoa, kind of highlighted the need for like, okay, where are we gonna?
It's a reminder.
Yeah, how are we gonna continue to add value to this product so we can continue to do that, and I think that both the One and TD Connect are really big steps in that direction. One thing I wanted to say on TD Connect is we wanted like the operations part of it to just be as simple as possible. And that's really what we wanted to show here at the show was like, we've just got a little, redneck demonstration with a pipe with some water in there that would,
You
just,
did well with that.
yeah,
last
well,
week. That was fantastic.
that's good. I mean, that was,
Adding the sticker today was,
yeah.
that was the cherry on
It's a
top.
piece of PVC pipe out of the corner of my garage and a 5-gallon bucket. And, I did have to buy a new PVC primer and cement. So I did have to invest in a new can of
Yeah.
purple primer and clear cement. So that's my total investment in that display. But did that because I just wanted to show people how easy it is to use. Like, you don't have to press any buttons. You don't have to do anything. You literally drop the thing in the water, take it out of the water, open the app on your phone, and there's the information. And that's awesome. That's what we wanted to do. But like, I can't believe how, I mean, I do, like, you hear this sometimes, but the simpler a product is to use, that means the harder it was to develop, and that was the case, because we've been like, this is a 3-year project.
I remember writing on that board up in the office, on that whiteboard, all day long with you some days.
Yeah.
Brainstorming what we're gonna
Yeah,
do.
what we're gonna do with it, where again, it's been a long road for that, so to actually, like, see it, like, okay, it's almost into the wild now, and now we've just gotta, push it through.
Right
Push it
across
through
the finish
production.
line.
Yeah, push it through production. Start building, which is going to happen here real soon. So, that's going to be a fun one, I think. And it's also fun. It's fun for me because it also applies to a lot of new customers. So a lot of our customers, I mean, hence the Great Lakes Fishing Podcast, right? A lot of our customers in the Great Lakes, but like, one of the reasons that we're excited about doing this project is like, we were getting customers in Western U.S., fishing.
Oh, absolutely.
Kokanee.
Pyramid Lake, Nevada, you're talking
Yeah,
Washington,
yeah, all
California.
like totally new bodies of water for
Yeah.
us, totally new fisheries. People using it in saltwater, people
Yeah.
using it. Yeah, I mean, so like, we think that for us as a company, that this is really going to be, a really big deal for us as far as, opening up those new markets. And that's why, like, we're bringing on more staff to be able to continue to, provide the service, provide the support that we want to, that we just expect out of ourselves. That's why we're kind of front loading that to, be able to, do that, so.
We feel very responsible towards our customers.
Yeah, for sure, yep.
Yeah, it's a product that I think, we've talked about saltwater applications, we've talked about, western reservoirs, but, places like Kentucky Lake, places in, reservoirs in Texas, these
Yeah,
are,
guys fishing crappies, like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and that's the cool thing about TD Connect is, we're really focusing in on water temperature, obviously, and providing that temperature profile, but like temperature is like one of the biological drivers of fish behavior, right? So it doesn't matter what species it is, like, temperature has an impact on every species of fish, whereas, building a product for a downrigger, which, not everybody uses downriggers, right? Not everybody has lakes that have a lot of current in them, things like that. So we're always going to be somewhat limited to certain fisheries, with that other fish oxide product, where now we've got the ability to, talk to some new customers in some new markets, so.
Yeah, super cool. Well, we got a big day tomorrow. We're gonna be at
Yeah.
the show all day and then traveling all night, and hope to get home safe by, hopefully by like midnight tomorrow, right? So
Yeah, I hope so.
that's gonna be the goal. You guys have anything else to say before we wrap up?
Oh, hey, everybody at the show, thanks for coming out. Hope to see some more of you tomorrow.
Hockey game tomorrow, I don't know how many we're gonna see.
Tomorrow
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
Go US. Sorry, Canada.
We are from Minnesota, so we do care
It
about
is a
hockey.
state of hockey.
It is a state of hockey, so.
Yeah. Mario, closing thoughts?
No, if you need something, just reach out. It's not a big deal. Send an email, give us a call. Even Steve will talk to people on Saturdays as much as, if you need
He's
something.
like, what are you talking about, Mark?
I'm talking about Mario.
He's lying. He told me many a times he has, and we just want you to be happy with it and everything like that. And we appreciate you guys using the product, and intro. Guy.
Yeah. So my joke that I made up at the show was why everybody else is hiring chatbots, I'm hiring offensive linemen. So yeah, they make me look small.
We're the protection. We're the muscle.
Yeah, they're the muscle in the outfit. So.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us all weekend long. We got one more day of streaming tomorrow from the show. Hope you guys can join us there. We'll see you then, and then just keep watching the podcast, keep listening to the podcast. A lot of the stuff that we've done all weekend will show up there in the next few weeks, and then this summer we've got big plans to make a bunch of trips all over the Great Lakes.
Road tripping.
Doing some filming and doing a bunch of podcast recordings. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of new stories and a lot of stories with maybe some people that we already know, but just telling them in some different ways and visually a little bit different. We're investing in that too with a lot of new tools there. So I think it's going to be an awesome year, 2026 here at the Fishhawk. So
Let's go.
cool.
All right.